having technical difficulties, I guess. So it's 5:30 on 6/13. I'm gonna start the council meeting. If we could all rise. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Diane.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for everyone that's present with us today. Be with us as we try to be good stewards of the money for the citizens of our county. Help us to do your will and bless this county in ways that we never, ever could have imagined. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, we are all present except for Eric. Eric is not here.
Okay, you just want to be on speaker then?
I guess if that's all we can do.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Heather, you're on speaker. So the first item we have up on our agenda is the Sheriff's Office request for line item transfers.
Sure. Is that the,
She's on speakerphone, so, yeah. I'm trying to get Zoom.
FaceTime?
Sending pigeons next.
I can FaceTime if you want.
It doesn't
May
matter.
FaceTime me, Lindy.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm good. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we have is a line item transfer from Fund 1170 35001 to 22101. So you're going from equipment repair to tires and parts in the total of 4,600, which would zero that.
See, which one are you on?
And the very first one. Oh,
He don't have it.
oh, you don't have it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You
the
want
very
this
first
one?
one,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, well, sure. So the very first line item, I have the 3501 to 22101, an amount of $4,600 from equipment repair to tires and parts.
Yes.
Okay, I think, Heather, since we're going all to the same line item, or the account, do we need to do all these line items separate, all these amounts separate? She's gone?
Good talk. Hey, while we're waiting on that, the only question I had on them was on the sheriff's car to tires and parts. I know we got a couple loans that are due to be paid off in August. That's like 38,000. How's that getting paid? You know.
Well, we've had money budgeted for that.
So that's
I've already
set.
got the money. That was separate. That's money
Okay.
budgeted. The only thing we have is there was like $2,000 left or something in that budget we had over, so we transferred it out because we wouldn't need it.
So the 2973 is after that payment's been made,
Yes.
essentially, okay.
That's, yes.
'Cause I just knew there was 38,000 in August, and I didn't want to be short on that or
Right.
have an issue there.
No, I get it. No, that's, when we went through that, because we'd got the 3 new cars, we
Yeah.
pushed out that line.
Okay. And these are the ones that are existing. These loans actually will be paid off from what I see,
I hope so,
8/20 of 23 and 8/29. So by the end of
That's
next
in the debt
month.
service, yeah.
Okay.
Heather, are you there?
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's up to the council. You're moving it from the same account, right? Or you're moving it to the same?
We're
To
moving
So you're moving
to
from
the,
35001 to 22101, right?
yeah,
And then the next one's you're moving it from different accounts to the same account. So I think I would do them one by one.
okay. All right, so the first one is the amount of $4,600. I'll entertain a motion to transfer from 35001 to 22101 in the amount of $4,600. Okay,
I'll second it.
Miller, JR, any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. All right, next one is moving total amount of $1,400 from 35,401 to 22,101. Radio repair, 2 tires and parts. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
All, okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, the next is 2915, or the amount of $2,915 from 35,401 to 22,101, from software to tires and parts. I'll make a motion, or I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Sorry. Second,
Also,
any discussion? All in favor? Okay, and then the last one is, in the amount of $2,973.86, from 42,200 to 22,101. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion for that.
Second? Emily, second?
I'll second.
The only questions I had,
Yep.
he answered on that for me.
Any discussion? Yeah,
I'll second.
oh, you're second, okay. Any discussion?
Oh, well, whatever.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't.
All in favor? And you don't I should have asked, but you don't anticipate needing these line items in the future?
Who knows? We just have to play it by ear, you know what I'm saying, so.
Cause the radio repair, you bought new
Yeah,
radios,
we got
well, you don't need
Mhm.
those. What's equipment repair, just whatever?
Just whatever it is inside, yeah.
The inside the jail?
Here's
is
the
that
thing about
how-
it is it's on the sheriff's side, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, here's the thing about it is there's a million different line items, I'll be
Right.
honest with you.
Right,
I wish they would just be shrunk down into,
I wish the same. We agree on that.
yeah, so they're all the same, do the same thing, but they're just in
Got
different
different
buttons.
terminologies to it, yeah, so.
Maybe we can see about that, but.
That'd be a good idea.
Alright, well, I appreciate you coming in to
Yep,
answer any
thank you.
questions.
One question I did have on line transfers is this, the HIV medications line, that's in the red, and that's always been taken care of by the council. So I think Jennifer had posted
It got
50,000.
advertised, and so it
Advertised.
should be in the paper tomorrow.
Okay, just
So
to
we
make sure,
won't-
just
So
to
we
keep
won't
up.
be able to do
Yeah, you
anything
know,
about it until
just to make
July.
sure that whoever's taking care of that now, you know what I'm saying, just make sure to just stay on top of it, because Walgreens already sent me a done for like 10,000, so.
Hey, before you go, how's your deputy that had the wreck?
He's
Okay,
doing
released?
better, yeah, he had his hip completely rebuilt, so.
Our thoughts are with him. I know several of us had asked, and I just thought I would ask you while you're
Yeah,
here.
he's doing good, he's actually home, so hopefully we get him back in 6-8 months. That's very optimistic, you see what I'm saying?
big
But,
surgery.
you know, it's something to ask for, so.
There's nothing.
All right.
Alright,
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
alright. Next up is Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
I thought it'd be pretty short and sweet. Need a semi, asking out of ARC money.
Okay, you're standing back there? Okay. Do we have anything, do we know anything about this? I don't know what this is.
Semi moving equipment around,
Do you have?
he's wanting to use,
Did you
he's
guys,
wanting to appropriate, $35,000, so he can find a new semi,
I thought we had already found one or something.
so.
so you're asking, did you guys already do a, whatever, ordinance, resolution
There is a resolution on it for the council, or for the commissioner's side.
for this, okay.
I think that's it.
No, it's 2021.
That's the other one.
So, okay, so we have amount requested 35,000 from the ARP funds to line 42,000. Do we already have this line item? Okay, line item 42,000 for the purchase of a semi to move equipment and stuff. Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the appropriation of 35,000 from the ARP funds to line 42,000 for the semi-purchase. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Any discussion, questions?
And seems pretty vague to just,
Have you got one in mind for it? That's just your dollar amount that you're looking at?
We actually had, go ahead.
We've looked at a couple. One of them sold, so. You can't take 2 months to come up with a used piece of equipment, so we looked at some down at a lighter truck. They all have about the same kind of mileage on them. That's what we're looking at.
All right, I have a motion by John Miller, a second by John Collins. Any other questions, discussions? All in favor? I don't see, I can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All opposed? 1? Was your hand, no, your hand is up for opposed? Or for, do you want it or no?
Yeah.
You're-
I had my finger up.
I know, but I asked opposed and you put your hand up.
Sorry.
Are you for it or against it?
Yeah.
For it. Okay. All right, passed 5-1. Okay. Next, Mr. Mike Jones.
I'm here on behalf of the coroner's room. Together, so the commissioners are in charge of buildings and whatnot, so, I know that the coroner had came before, or was coming before, and then, got off the agenda, so I'm just asking for what you were gonna do for him with $5,000 to kind of help alleviate the cooler problem. Well, the situation is not a problem, it's a situation, but in the summertime. So, there's 2 different options here. One of them is buying an AC unit, a bigger AC unit, put it in the wall, and then the other one, speaking with Johnny the other day, was that, talking to somebody about putting a compressor outside. So, I don't know which way, because I wanted to make sure we came to the meeting, got the money, and so we're either gonna go both ways, because I think we could probably do both with the money, or we're gonna go one or the other, so, but it's gonna make them whole. Speaking with, the people that installed it, the AC unit that's in there is an 8,000 BTU unit that's in a 2-bed normal hospital room. And, I guess when it comes summertime, that thing has a hard time keeping up. And plus, that room is a negative pressure. It's always pulling the air out of the room and putting it outside. So it just can't keep up, I guess, when it's hot, so. So I'm gonna look at, both avenues, the bigger AC unit or putting the other compressor outside, so.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion of additional appropriations from our general unappropriated line to our coroner, right? To our coroner line, 27,103 in the amount of $5,000.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Diane. She's been trying to get a second in here for a while. Any comments or discussion?
the only question I had is if it goes in the corners, can you guys still use it to do what you're wanting to do, or does that need to go?
No, that's where it needs to go,
Yeah, it needs to go.
because that's what it's for.
And with that being a self-contained unit on top of that cooler, setting the compressor outside is a whole lot better than what it is now. So that would probably be my first thing, then upgrading the AC and that would be the second, so.
The other thing that I'm looking at is that my past falls into kind of that type of work. But we were told when we had to do that you had to have that fan on all the time. Well, I don't know, I'm gonna ask somewhere in the state if that's a true fact, it can be on when something, something's going on in there, so. So anyway, thank you very much.
All right, well, I have a motion by John Miller, a second by Diane. All in favor? All right.
Hey, Lindy, I didn't hear the motion. Did you create the line too?
It went into the coroner's
And-
budget.
Yeah, line item 27,103. It was our,
Oh, I do need to recreate the line item.
we do need to create the line item?
27103.
Oh.
It's on there, line item creation.
Same line creation.
See, that's why I need you here and not on vacation. Okay.
I'll make a motion to create a line 27103 within the coroner's budget.
All right. Collins, all right. I have a motion by JR to create a line item 27103, seconded by Collins. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Heather.
And I would like to personally thank the commissioners for bringing that to the council.
Okay.
Well, it was different, but we did it.
Thank you.
All right,
Nick will lick.
Nick, Mr. Nick. Have fun.
See you.
You bringing some fancy papers this time?
I do,
God love it.
all types of
I
colors.
should've missed that. See ya.
See you, Kevin.
See ya.
Bye, Greg,
I
bye.
got told that I didn't bring them last time, so this time I brought them.
And I have one for Heather. Do you have enough?
I'll
Eric's
prob-
not here.
Oh, yeah, then that'll work. Everybody have one? Cool. Financials are up top, if you guys have any questions about that. I don't wanna go over them unless you'd like me to go over them real quick. I'll be more than happy to go over them real quick if you want me to. If not, I can just skip over that, but your second page is all our financial and run volume. I will say that, through 6/13, we're sitting at 840 for the year. So we're projected to be about 1.86 to 1.9, depending on how stuff falls, and that's higher than it's ever, the highest we've ever had here in the history. I think it's 1.68, so we're on. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions about run volume or financials?
Nope.
Are you, is there a question?
Oh, just, go ahead.
Okay. Looking to move, requesting, I think it was advertised at 4,000, I believe, to get our parking lot fixed. I'm asking to use my own money that we've made, not from any other fund, for $4,000 to move from my just 1151 cash ledger to my 1151 23 5000 0301 for build the, I don't remember what that fund
I
is.
think we already talked about it.
Yeah, this has had to be advertised in a formality, so that's all.
Motion to approve.
Building supplies.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, so I have a motion by JR to move 4,000 from
Building supplies.
building supplies, which is 23,500,
No, to move
No.
from my cash ledger.
from your cash register,
To
ledger,
ledger, yeah.
to line 0301 in the amount of $4,000.
And currently in my cash ledger, there's $626,462, plus we're waiting another $140,000 deposit today, so
Yeah, this was
on your
ran
paper.
last week.
626,462 was as of today.
All right, so I have a motion by JR, do I have a second?
I second it.
She's not in the second. Okay, any discussions or comments? No? All right, all in favor? 6-0.
The other thing on the agenda, I think it was listed on here, is an additional appropriate, I don't know, we received a grant from the Scott County Community Foundation. We've got the money, I just need to reappropriate that somehow for us to use. So, yeah.
What's that listed under? Is that the?
I don't have,
It's not
we
done
have,
yet.
Okay,
we don't have it, cause I have to appropriate it somewhere.
gotcha.
It's not a check that I have, they won't give it to us until I have a place to put it.
Was it for?
Equipment. So we put in for iStats, which are those portable log grab thing, chemistry log draw things. It's like, works like a glucometer. We got approved for it, I just have to put it somewhere so I can spend out of it.
You have a line for equipment and?
Yeah, it's 23001.
So we just need to make a motion to move The 13.
Allow me to, I
376.
guess, put that through the clerk's office and then reappropriate it back to that line, I believe is what I have to do, correct?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Heather, you on this one?
she does,
I
it's
am,
not,
I'm listening.
What, I mean,
We're good.
It's
We're
because I
good
don't have
on
the
that,
money
right?
to transfer. I don't have the money to transfer.
Well, I mean, he brought the grant funds in, correct?
yes,
yes,
I have the line.
So,
I just
where
need
did they
to-
go to when they came in?
they won't come in until we
Until-
have somewhere to tell them
That's why it's
where
not on
they're
the list.
going. is
Oh,
what he's
yes,
saying.
just create the line like you do with an APRA fund or any other grant, like you
So
just
if-
create the fund
so
and
if
the
it's,
line item for it to go into.
so if it's already created, he's gonna put in equipment, right? Or he's gonna put in equipment if it's already or already created, we just have to approve it. That's where that money amount is gonna go.
Okay, as long as it's already created and it's got money to go in there, then yes, appropriate it like you would anything else.
Okay,
Up it out of that fund.
okay, so I will entertain a motion.
This is the first time I've ever received a grant, so that's on my fault for probably not having.
Well, congratulations, Nick.
I don't, I guess
Good
it'll
job.
transfer from 1151 as well to,
I will make a motion that we allow Nick to receive the grant in the sum of $13,376 for the purchase of equipment to move into his existing equipment line,
which
which
is
is
1151-23001.
I'd second that.
.00.301.
Yeah, alright. Any questions or discussions?
And just so there is no, this is it's on the back page that you have, this is the
The grant.
approval from them that says we were given it, and it is
Okay,
there.
alright, so I have a motion by JR, seconded in by Johnny White. Any questions, comments? All in favor? 6-0, okay.
Someone takes my grant. The last thing, which is probably not gonna be popular, but, the last reason I'm here, for those of you that, know, we have a training institute at our department. For those of you that also don't know, my training director has resigned effective July 6th. Question mark, somewhere around there. It is imperative that we get this position filled, because without this position, I can't run my training institute, which has brought in 20 plus 80,000 over the last year, which is more than that position makes. With that being said, I've had some people interested in the position. Pay is an issue, but then another thing that's happened is we all talked about that community paramedicine program that's grant funded through someone else. They pay us, we read it first. They had a vacancy there as well, and they asked us to absorb that position. But they would financially fund it. With that being said, that puts a lot of training that we weren't expecting to do now onto us, because that was that position. So I'm here asking for an increase to that training position so I can hire someone, which for the next 2 years would be funded out of that grant, so it'd be no cost to my cash ledger and no cost to the county. And then after those 2 years, I would absorb it out of my fund like I do everything else. But for right now, I think that, you know, with us having to absorb that person then being responsible for the training that comes along with it, it's already covered in the job description, like as far as there's nothing that needs to change there, because it has to do with training of personnel and this and that. So it's nothing that needs to be changed there. I need to fill that position, and I know everybody can sit here and say that pay is an option, or pay is an issue. And, you know, like I said, in the commission meeting, I think that position is getting very close to my deputy director pay and my pay, which is a different conversation for budget time. But for right now, that's what I need, and with it being the money that I feel like I make for my department, that's something that I'm stressing to you as a department head, I need that to make this work. Now, what you choose to do with that information is ultimately up to you, but I feel like that's part of my responsibility as being this department head.
Is he leaving to take another job somewhere else doing the same thing?
Yes.
For just more money?
10 grand more a year.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the prosecutors is having a problem with.
Yep, and I mean, we can all sit here and play that game, except I have the ability to fund it right now for the next 2 years. That's You know, and if I can't save $6,000 in 2 years, I think we've got bigger problems.
Okay.
So, you know, like I said, even if it comes out of my cash ledger, I think yours was probably around 610 when you ran yours. Yeah, it was 610 last week, it's 626 this week, and like I said, we've got $140,000 deposit sitting in the clerk's office, so that'll put us at 770.
The only problem I have with it is we've already set precedents to not do raises in the middle of the year.
And I get that with the exception of this, I don't wanna say the job title is changing, the job responsibility is changing. And I feel like if you were to add responsibility to other departments, regardless of where they would be, there would have to be a pay incentive that came with it. You know, and again, I have a grantor that's willing to fund that. That's not costing my department nor this county money. And even so, if it was costing my department money, that's why that training institute's there. It saves us tens of thousands of dollars a year by not having to outsource the training for me and every other employee that I've got, because we have to do continuing ed and training. We have 140 hours a year that we have to do.
The $80,000 a year, does that count, what you're saving by training your own people? Or?
Nope.
And that's probably quite an expense right there.
Over 30,000.
Normally, I would agree with White that we have set a precedence and we're not changing our budget, but I do see your point that this
is a vacancy.
kind of changes because we are not changing our budget still. This other company is funding that.
Which the salary ordinance would have to change.
Correct.
But the initial monies for the next 2 years would be funded by someone, not by us.
Yeah.
And then after those 2 years, you know, I would pick that up.
I believe the one that we turned down for the health department, it was going to be funded too, wasn't it, Michelle?
Well, it would have been funded out of my 1159, my tax rate.
But that was.
That's budgeted money.
My difference is that she was already in that position looking for a raise, and we can't fill this at this.
She had transferred over from the auditor's office, had a similar position at a higher rate of pay here, and then when she came to the health department.
And I'm not trying to cause issues anywhere. I'm doing what I have to do for my department, like I said.
I understand.
I appreciate that.
And, you know, it's ultimately, if we don't have a training institute, I'm refunding quite a bit of money.
I don't want to be known as the council that'll do for one and not the other, you know.
I feel that on the flip side right now. No, and I get it. Like I said, the salary ordinance just would have to change because it would, even though it's funded through 2 different venues, it's still an overall check. However, it's one of those things that for this year, next year, I'm responsible for, but it's being reimbursed. It's one of those things that I pay out, they pay me. I pay out, they pay me. So there's that. Other than that, you know, it's ultimately your decision. This has been advertised for right at 3 weeks now. I've got interest until we get to the pay. And I've got interest until we get to some of the job responsibilities that some people just can't do because they don't have the certifications or the requirements. You know, that's where I'm at, so I'm here talking to you about it.
All right, well, I will entertain a motion to.
And what, if you look at the bottom of the page that I gave you, is exactly what it breaks down to down here somewhere.
Yeah.
We'd move it to that $27.88 an hour, if that's what we went with. From the 20.
So do we need to
Amend the salary.
do we need to amend the salary ordinance first? Before we?
Well, you tell him you're gonna do it, then we know something, I believe.
Okay. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to move, $5,850.
No, it's on the, that's something totally different.
Instructor up here on top.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is this right, Nick? I'm sorry. Or is that something different?
Mm-mm.
So was this advertised? Was this advertised?
When is this from?
Whatever the date is at the top,
But
we
what
had to get it
he's
advertised.
sending,
There is no date on the top. This is a line item transfer.
Right, this has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I was gonna ask you if you still needed that. Oh, here.
Oh, that can be now or later. It's in the same fund.
It's right there.
That's just where we didn't continue our contract
So
for,
since it's here, then we'll discuss it after we get done with this.
okay.
Okay, so this is,
so has this been advertised?
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't,
Just
the
doesn't?
line item, the salary ordinance doesn't have
Doesn't
to
have
be.
to. Okay, alright,
No.
so we're good.
Okay, so my fault, I was on the wrong one. All right, so
Why is he asking for that? 'Cause
I didn't know that had to go in front since it was the same
he's asking
fund.
for a salary ordinance change to the,
Two series.
to the
Okay.
27th.
So he's not
I
asking.
thought it was
No.
less than 10, so
Not
it can
yet.
just be
That'll be
submitted and
something
voted on. Okay, that's an oversight on my
I
part.
was too.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
But
so,
this is on the agenda for the training officer
so this
position.
here is not.
That's
Two
the,
different things. I know, and that's.
So on the bottom of this right here. it's not-
that's the
yes,
paramedic
it
program.
is, it's training officer
That's,
position,
yeah,
but you don't have to
the training officer
advertise
position is what I
salary
was talking about
ordinance.
on the agenda. That's
I'm getting
the
spoiled for that.
paramedic program. I didn't realize that.
Okay, all right,
I thought that was
so,
just a submission since it was a low amount.
all right, so I will entertain a motion to amend the salary ordinance for the training, what's it called?
Training officer.
Training officer position rate of pay to $27.88 an hour. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
One second. All right, any discussions, questions? Discussions or questions?
The
No?
only problem I have with it at all is the lack of consistency.
Consistency with what?
From one department to another. We run down basically the same thing for the health department.
Well, I think the difference with that is she accepted
A position.
a position at that rate of pay, and then Michelle came and asked for the rate increase. And Nick has had a vacancy, has had to fill it, and,
It's been advertised for 3 weeks,
Okay, well, I understand.
which I still have 2 more weeks to fill the position, but
And the guy.
I feel like the people that have applied are going to be the people that have applied in the 3 weeks.
And the guy leaving for more money, pretty much.
Switzerland County, I can give you her contact if you wanna talk to her.
No. Well, you know, same thing,
It's,
you know.
money's money, and you know, if it was a couple thousand, I'd have an issue, but
Yeah.
the amount that he's leaving for, I don't blame him.
Well,
I mean, it's,
if that's what it's gonna take to fill the position, I think I would probably make the motion myself. If that's what you feel it's gonna take to fill it.
and
It's
like I
probably gonna be below what he's made it.
if you look on there, we ran national averages, and I'm literally asking for I'm not asking for the top end of the echelon of things. I'm trying to get it to where I can articulate a comparison. But again, deer poison.
all right. So, I have a motion and a second, and discussion, all in favor? So, is it 6? Yes. Okay.
That's my fault.
It's okay.
Okay. The last thing was the other line item transfer was from,
Now we're at the line.
it should be contractual services. This is an 1170 for the paramedic program. The fund number in 1170, I think, is 9463. I'm not sure. 1170, wherever that form is. But when we got our new, program director, there we go, sorry. We didn't do a contract, it's an hourly thing that's what the commissioners agreed that they were gonna do. So I've got that money sitting in contractual that I just need to move to that instructor line, because that's where I'm paying that out of. So
Okay,
it's just a budgetary, one line item's not being used because we have no contract. The other one is.
Okay,
And there could be the possibility that I come back and ask for that, or no, that one's maxed out. So that'll be what we're transferring, just to put it in instructor to say, I know I will not use this line item because I have no contracts. I need to move it to the line item where I'm using funds.
okay, so I'll entertain a motion of transferring $5,850 out of 30100 into line 11 to 15,
So moved.
correctional services. I need a motion.
I'd make it motion.
Second.
You're so moved, did not move very far.
Any questions or discussions? Nope.
Do you need that line moving forward?
It depends on how we budget the paramedic program next year. Like the budget that I've done for this year, it's in there. And what I've done is I put X amount in one line, the same amount in the other. I won't use both, but I have to budget for both right now, depending on what way we go. Are we gonna do a flat contract for X amount of dollars, or am I gonna pay hourly? So if we fund the whole thing, just know that if we funded each line for 20,000, there'll be a 20,000 surplus that won't be used because one of those will be dead. It's just we have to decide how we're gonna do moving forward. But we won't be able to make that decision until after budget's done. So we'll have to fund both, knowing that you can transfer that back out once that decision is made.
Or fund one and move it?
Or that, yes. And as long as, if we can make them to the same series where I can just call them and say move it, so I don't have to do this, that would be easier.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion by White, seconded by JR. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, thank you.
Anything else for me?
Nope.
Thanks for your time.
Michelle,
I also have a
leaving
salary
us.
ordinance request, so that works out perfect. Yes, I am leaving. This is my last meeting, so I'm taking a job with the Indiana State Department of Health, and so I'll cover Scott County. You guys remember like that big PowerPoint that I came and talked to you about? The state created 3 positions, a southern, central, and northern region, and basically like my position will help local health departments in the southern region kind of navigate that money and the new programs and incentives with that. So still be around, and hopefully if whoever takes my place, I'm ready to help them if they need it. Okay, so currently on the salary ordinance, we have a grant funded position that's called COVID support. It's a part-time position. We funded it for a little bit, or we had someone in that position for a little bit. They left, and honestly, like part-time just wasn't the best fit for what we really need that. And with that new money coming in, if you guys remember, I talked about how school liaison and community outreach is a big thing that this money is focusing on. So I'm asking to basically take that part-time position, the COVID support position, out of the salary ordinance and add in a health educator full-time position. And so basically what I've given you is that grant is fund number 8108.
What is it?
8108.
I'm sure
Did she give you the,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And so you see now we have a cash balance in there of $181,000. The next grant cycle starts on July 1st. So we will get an additional $110,000 into that account. And that's like cash, like we get to keep
it
that.
ends in 24, not 23.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Is this gonna be the same person, Michelle?
Possibly. I mean, that's not gonna be my decision to make, you know, that'll be my replacement. But the way like you guys only meet once a month, so I have to come to you, ask for the position in the salary ordinance, go to the commissioners, ask for a job description, come back to you guys and say, this is the job description, this is the rate of pay we would like to pay this person, and then that's your July meeting, you post it for 2 weeks, then you're into August, school starts into August. So this is why we're wanting to do this now. But like I said, it's money in there in the grant, we have to spend it.
So we're creating a new position.
Creating a new position and getting rid of the old part-time position. And then what I did here was just some projections. If we had an employee come in for the, you know, half the year for this year, all of next year, all of 2025, and take all benefits, all perf, everything, That would be about $226,000, which we'll have plenty to cover that. So, we don't have to touch any county money. We actually don't even have to touch any of our new money that we're getting from the state, if we don't want to, because we'll have plenty of money for the next 2.5 years.
Hypothetically, will this type of position be funded by that new program?
Yeah, eventually, like when we use up this pot of money, that would need to be worked into the Governor's Public Health Commission money.
Our commissioners on board with going with that, right?
So the commissioners, they opted into the funding. Yep, they did last meeting, so I've already submitted that to the state. And then every year, so by September 1st, they will sign off on our plan. And then they'll do that every year, so.
They, the state, or they?
They, the commissioners, have to approve how we use that fund.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's the current salary of that part-time?
it's just a straight part-time, which is like $11.18 an hour.
And we're gonna move it to the 20.
So previously, just going off your guys' history, you guys usually want a job description before we talk about hourly. I feel like 20 was kind of just like an easy number to work with. So that's kind of why I put 20, but I would say be around that.
So what do you need from us today?
I need you guys to create the line item, health educator in the salary ordinance, and then take out COVID support position part-time.
Okay, so none of it's haven't gone in front of the commissioners yet.
Correct, because when I talked to Zach, he said you guys were the first step to create the position.
Heather, you still burning up Lindy's battery?
I am still burning up Lindy's battery.
Do you want us to separate this and remove the COVID support in one motion and then add a health educator in another? Or?
Yes, I would do them both as separate motions.
Yeah.
All right, so I will entertain a motion to remove, what's the official title?
COVID support.
COVID support.
Part-time.
Part-time from the salary ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, any discussions or comments? Okay. All in favor? 6-0. All right, and then I will entertain a motion to create a line in a salary ordinance.
Health educator,
Health
full-time.
Educator, full-time.
Is that the same name it's gonna be called under the
Full-time.
new program?
That will be like the position that's advertised as health educator.
So I'll entertain a motion to
I'll make a motion, we add a health educator position to this
Full-time.
salary ordinance as a full-time.
I'll second.
Diane. Any questions or comments?
Second.
All right, I got you. Any questions or comments? No. All in favor? 6-0.
Thank you
All right.
guys. Thank you, and it's been great. I haven't worked with a lot of you very long, but thank you.
Well, good luck.
So, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is the cell phone policy. What's going on with that?
Oh, we've got one here ready for you to sign. Approve and sign. The commissioners had it. It was emailed to you guys.
Heather, do I need to read aloud the ordinance?
You don't have to read the last one, the whole ordinance. You can do just the title of it.
Okay. Okay, so I have ordinance number 2023-OR-05, ordinance amending the Scott County Employee Handbook and establishing a cell phone stipend policy for employees of Scott County. I will entertain a motion to approve said ordinance 2023-OR-05.
I'll make a motion to approve to the handbook.
Do I have a second? All right, I have a motion by JR, seconded by Johnny White. Any comments or questions?
I thought we got rid of the cell phone.
So we got rid of the cell phone stipends because we needed a cell phone policy. Because that's what the state board of accounts said. So the commissioners came up with the cell phone policy.
Because we were getting the cart before the horse.
Correct.
And previously, it wasn't a stipend for a position, it was a stipend for a person.
Yeah.
So if you no longer were on the council and moved to janitor, we still paid your cell
So
phone
this is-
stipend.
yeah.
And this changes that.
So, okay,
I got
so,
you.
So I have a motion by JR, seconded by Johnny White. All in favor? 6-0. All right. We need to sign this. And then next thing is the consideration of regular minutes.
Those are not complete.
Those are not complete.
These are the special.
Okay, so I make a motion to table the consideration of regular minutes and special
I'll
minutes.
make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
all right.
How far behind are we on minutes?
We're pretty far, because I tell you,
I
I'm
don't
having to
remember.
watch these a dozen times to get everybody's
All
stuff
in
on.
favor?
Have we got the minutes, put on, the website yet? They haven't been put in?
Not from the beginning of the year, no.
Okay.
You know, we've got some of them uploaded to
We're 6
Gateway,
months behind.
but none of them have been up there, yes.
Lindy, we
Yes.
really need to make that priority to get them caught up and posted, because public access laws, people go looking for those all the time.
Okay,
We don't wanna get in a situation where we do not have them available.
okay. All right,
Is it feasible to do it our next meeting?
I will do the best I can, but I'm in settlement right now, so it's not looking real good.
Do we need
is that something
someone
that,
else?
to upload what we have done, is that the
That
meeting
can be
minute?
done, those can be done.
Okay.
And actually, those have been to Gateway, right? You were done to Gateway.
They have to be signed by us to be,
Oh.
to meet the open door, Heather?
Yeah, they have, I mean, you
They have
can't
to be-
publish minutes
yeah,
until
you
they're
can't
voted on
publish
and
it until
approved by
they're
the
On
body.
the
Some of them.
website, they haven't been uploaded since 12/21/2022.
That was the last one.
Right, those were the last ones there.
Yeah.
We've had some that should have been signed, so I'll go back and look on those.
Can we get the ones that are signed
Yes,
uploaded
because
so
there's
we're
supposed
in
to be some. They're not
compliance?
many, I'll agree,
Yeah.
but we'll get them.
Okay, all right, well, that concludes today's meeting. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
No discussion.
All right, no discussion, all in favor? 6-0, all right, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Heather.
Okay,
Thanks,
Heather.
thanks, Heather, bye.
Bye.